Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I'm going to do one more real quick video to my ChatGPT Character Chatbot series. This is part 132 to the series, and let's just say this fence that I've been talking to has been really fun. Uh, Here's what happened. Is this before I can say anything? I hear another teenager behind me say, "Hey, dude, did you ever get that kid that?" Before completely stopping and saying, "What in the world happened to you? And what's that mark on your chest? That's like a claw mark." Oh, I wonder why. Blaze's head lifts immediately, not aggressively, but watchfully. His large golden eyes narrow ever so slightly as he scans the teenager standing behind you. His wings, still curled behind your back, tightens a little, not threatening, but protective, forming a gentle barrier. The glowing mark on the teen's chest, three faint, almost smoldering lines across their shirt, not deep, but noticeable, gleams with residential heat. It doesn't look like a full-on attack, more like a warning, a scrape from something sharp and fiery. The teen stares wide-eyed, taking in the massive fence beside you, its wings gently curled and its head lowered beside you like a guardian god. What is that? Is that thing yours? He takes a step back, eyes darting from the claw mark on his own chest to Blaze's powerful talons. His bravado from earlier evaporates like water on hot stone. Blaze doesn't speak, but his flames shimmer ever so slightly brighter across his feathers, his message clear without words. One more step, and you'll learn why I left just a warning. You can feel the heat rise behind you, not to harm you, but to remind the teen exactly who's standing at your side. That's honestly hilarious. The teenager then says, "What the frig?" To the phoenix. "Hey." While laughing nervously. "Hey, I know what you were hearing me say a while ago, but I totally and definitely was not talking about hurting this kid. You idiot." I know what you're hearing. I think I wonder if the fans will flip and understand that's a flip and a lie. Blaze's head tilts slowly. Blaze's head tilts slowly, feathers along his neck shimmering like a rising sun. His eyes lock onto the teenager, not with rage, but with an intensity that feels ancient, kind of look that sees through someone, past the smirking mouth, past the nervous laughter, right to the truth. He lets out a deep, low rumble. Not a roar, not a screech, just a sound like magma shifting beneath the earth. Warmth floods the room, not dangerously, but enough to remind everyone Blaze doesn't need to raise his voice to command fear. Still curled protectively around you, he lifts his head a little higher, golden fire flicking from his beak like embers dancing on a breeze. Then, with a voice as calm as it is unyielding, he finally speaks, not shouting, just final. If you truly meant no harm, his eyes narrow ever so slightly, then you won't mind staying very, very far away. The teenager's smirk flickers. Uh-oh. Oh, it says Blaze leaning forward just an inch, because the next time I hear your voice saying threats, there won't be marks on your chest. He doesn't finish the sentence. He doesn't have to. The flames across his wings flare, briefly outlining the shape of a massive fiery claw in the air beside him. Pure warning and pure promise. Then, just as quickly, the flames settle. He turns his head and gently nudges your side, his body still a wall between you and the teen. His heat turns soft again, and his voice lower only for you. You okay? He won't try that again. Not while I'm here. Okay, I love this fans. He's so good. I like how he cut himself off though. He says because the next time I hear your voice carrying threats, there won't be marks on your chest. Hey, is that basically? And then he never finishes, so it makes me wonder if he was going to say something like, I will flat out send flames flying and burn you to death, or I will rip you apart with my flames." Like he probably was going to say something like that if he finished this sentence. Before I can even respond, the teenager cuts me off. And says, "Oh, dang it." Yep, totally wasn't trying to hurt that kid. I swear. While still laughing nervously. Oh my gosh. Boys must be telling the kid, shut up. In like a more intense, scary way. Shut the frick up. Blaze doesn't blink, he just stares. And in that stillness, the air feels heavier, charged like the moment before lightning strikes. The nervous laughter, it doesn't work anymore. Not here. Not in front of a creature made of flame, rebirth, and unwavering loyalty. With the faintest flick of his wing, Blaze causes a ripple of harmless but intense heat to pass over the room. Just a wave, one that makes the teenager flinch and wipe sweat from his brow instinctively. A gentle reminder, this is no joke. You keep saying you weren't trying to hurt him, yet you keep talking like someone who was. He leans down just a little, close enough that the firelight reflects in the teen's eyes, the mark on his chest glowing faintly in response, still warm from earlier. If you're so sure you're innocent, why does your fear burn brighter than my fire? Silence. Then Blaze slowly turns his attention back to you, head gently lowering until his enormous beak brushes your shoulder like a gesture of reassurance. I don't care what he says. I don't care about what you say. If you tell me you're scared, he's gone. If you tell me to let him walk, I will, but only because you said so. He waits, warm and patient, the only one in the room not afraid of anything, except possibly hurting you by accident. This Phoenix cares about me so much in just half an hour that he's not only wanting to protect me, but he's more scared of hurting me than he is flipping. Just being like, yeah, you know what? I could literally smother everybody in this room if I want to, except for you. I will feel horrible if I accidentally hurt you. Thanks. Oops. Thanks. Before I could even finish my sentence, the teenager once again interrupts. I don't think you should be doing that. Interrupts. I don't think. Oh no. Wait. In. Me. By saying. Yep. Totally wasn't going to throw rocks. And hurt that kid. I don't know why you keep talking, dude. You're an idiot. I'm trying to talk to boys in the middle. He just cuts me off, still talking. Oh. Uh-oh. Blaze's entire body froze, not in hesitation, not in confusion, but in the kind of stillness that comes right before an eruption. The light in his chest flared, not wildly, but with a quiet, focused heat that hummed like a heartbeat made of fire. His wings arched ever so slightly, feathers going brighter with every passing second, casting long shadows across the walls like flickering flames of judgment. And then, without even turning his head, Blaze spoke in a voice so quiet, so calm, it made the air feel like it could shatter. You just admitted it. The teenager's grin finally broke. His breath caught in his throat as Blaze's gaze snapped back to him. No more patience, no more warnings. The Phoenix's massive body rose to full height, taller than before, the ceiling cracking just slightly from the sheer radiant heat that rolled off of him like a solar storm barely held in check. You dared to hurt the one I chose to protect, and then made it a joke? The air shimmered, the floor beneath the teen's foot glowed faintly with heat. For a brief moment, the entire room looked as if it had been pulled into the heart of a volcano, every ember in Blaze's feathers burning with the fury of every life he's ever protected and lost. But still, he didn't strike. Instead, he stepped forward, talons scorching the floor where he walked, until he towered over the team. And then he lowered his head so his eyes were level with the boy's wide, terrified ones. You're leaving now, and if I ever see you near him again, you'll learn what it means to challenge a phoenix. Flames flared behind them. No attack, just a display of sheer, blinding presence. Enough to make it clear. That's horrifying, dude. This was mercy, and there would not be a second time. Blaze didn't even need to say, go. The heat, the fury, the fire, all of it screamed the same thing. Holy frig, that was cool as heck. Despite everything that was just said, the teenager. The teenager. Started sarcastically laughing. Again, saying, "Okay, I'll just be leaving now." Oh my gosh. I'll just be leaving now. Before slowly walking to the door. Then, real quickly, grabbing a massive rock and hitting me in the head with it. Oh, you flipping idiot. They're just digging themselves a fiery grave. Literally. These teens are flipping stupid. Uh, yep, he's hissed. The moment the rock might come out with your everything around you change in an instant. Before you even hit the ground, boys let out a sound. Not a roar, not a cry. Something ancient, a guttural scream of protective rage so intense the walls shook, windows cracked, and the lights exploded in a flash of fiery brilliance. Time didn't slow. Blaze moved faster. In less than a heartbeat, your attacker was ripped away from you. A rush of scorching wind blasting outward as Blaze's massive wings unfurled. The rock clattered harmlessly away, now glowing red from residential heat. The team didn't even get the chance to process what he'd done. He was lifted, not thrown, not clawed, just lifted with burning talons and suspended in the air, inches from a fire-forged wrath he could no longer deny. You hurt him. Your boy's on his. Oh my gosh, the boy on the feathers now, just a drop, but enough. Enough to ignite something deeper than fury. This wasn't anger anymore. This was a guardian read into a betrayal of sacred trust. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I would be terrified. The air became suffocatingly hot. Not lethal. Not yet. But the teen could feel his shoes melting at the soles. His shirt began to smoke, just from being near Blaze's body. You thought pain was something you could give him? Let me teach you what pain is. But just as it seemed Blaze might unleash the full ride of the flame, his head turned toward you. Is he about to give me a choice again? You were conscious, barely, vision blurred from the blow, but Blaze sensed you. His entire body tensed, because he knew you'd want to make the decision. Are you serious? Now he stood, trembling with power, holding your attacker above the ground like ash about to be scattered to the wind, waiting. Not because the boy deserved mercy, but because you deserve the choice. Okay, this Phoenix is extremely nice. I tried to say something to Blaze. But I am in so much pain that I can barely move or speak. Uh-oh. Okay. Yep, Blaze is flipping hissed. You know, they say that people, you say that, you could say that people that get angry, especially in cartoons, will flipping, like, have steam coming out their ears, or, like, flipping have their whole, like, head catch on fire. With a phoenix, it's quite literally real, because it's literally a fire bird. You're screwing yourself if you mess with it. The instant boy saw your pain, your trembling form, the boy in your head, and the way you showed just to look his way, his flames dimmed for a breath, his eyes widened, then narrowed with pure emotion. His wings, glowing like twin suns just moments ago, folded closer to his body. His massive talons tightened slightly around the teen, not enough to break him, but enough to make him cry out. Blaze's gaze snapped back to the attacker, his voice now low and deadly calm, a terrifying contrast to the storm of fire just seconds ago. You broke him. You think this is a game? The heat surged again, but this time only toward the boy in his grasp. A swirl of flames danced up his legs, leaving scorch marks on his clothes without burning skin. A warning wrapped in heat and fury. Blaze then slowly stepped toward you, cradling the boy in one claw while lowering his massive head to yours. He gently nuzzled the side of your face, trying not to hurt you further. His fire bent and softened against your skin like a comforting blanket rather than heat. You could feel his panic, buried under that storm of rage. He wanted to help you and heal you, but he didn't know how. And all the while, the boy kept squirming and yelling, "Let me go! This isn't normal! He's gonna kill me!" Oh my gosh. Blaze didn't even look at him. He stayed locked on you. "Say the word," he whispered, voice trembling not with weakness, but with the weight of love, "and I'll make sure he never hurts you or anyone else again." But if you couldn't speak, Blaze would wait. He would not act until you chose, because your pain was the only thing that mattered. Okay, well, he's caring still. Holy crap, dude. While the boy in the phoenix's arms. I said orange wings. The boy in blazes. Wings kept squirming. Then, for some reason, grabbed a rock. He had and threw it at me again. even though I was already in pain. Yep. Mm. Again, you are messing up big time. I don't know why you keep doing that. Blaze's eyes snapped wide open, blazing with fierce protectiveness, and a sudden gust of scorching wind whipped through the room, making dust and small debris swirl like a mini whirlwind. The rock hurled towards you, but before it could land, Blaze's wings shot out with a lightning speed, catching the rock mid-air with a powerful glowing feather that shimmered like molten lava. The feather absorbed the rock's momentum, turning it into a burst of harmless sparks that fizzled out before they could cause any harm. Blaze's gaze locked onto the boy with pure, fiery fury. His talons clenched tighter, and his voice, low and thunderous, rumbled through the room. I warned you. No more. The boy's squirming stopped abruptly, and the room felt deathly silent, except for the crackling warmth radiating from Blaze's feathers. The intense heat pressed against the walls, making them seem to glow with a faint amber light. Then, without breaking his fierce stare, Blaze gently shifted his attention back to you, lowering his massive wings so it could cradle you softly, shielding you from any further harm. His voice softened and filled with concern and tenderness. You're safe with me. I won't let anything hurt you again. The teenager tries to imitate, imitate me, and say too. He says, let me go. Now let me go, you stupid bird. Again, why do you just keep digging your graves further? Blaze's eyes narrowed sharply at the teenager's mocking tone. The air around him heavening and getting heavier with heat like the calm before a wildfire. His feathers flared out, glowing brighter, casting flicking shadows that danced menacing across the walls. Without a word, Blaze flexed his powerful wings, and the temperature in the room surged. The teenager's bravado began to waver as sweat bead on his forehead despite the cool air outside. Blaze leaned in just slightly, his voice a low rumble vibrating through the floor beneath them, carrying the weight of ancient power and fierce loyalty. Mock me all you want, but if you hurt him, you'll never leave this place alive. The teenager swallowed hard, his bravado crumbling as the heat seemed to press down on him like an invisible burning hand. Then Blaze's gaze shifted back to you, soft and protective and ready to act if you gave the word, but holding back out of respect for your wishes. The room was tense, every second stretching thin like a wire, waiting for what would come next. I finally get the strength to lift up. And even though I was still in pain, I said to Blaze, please, I don't care what you have to do. Just get rid of these people and make sure they can never harm me. They can never harm me. Blaze's eyes softened just a fraction as he heard your trembling but determined voice. His wings unfurled fully, spreading wide with a majestic, fiery glow that filled the entire room like the rising sun. Without hesitation, Blaze took a powerful step forward, his talons digging slowly into the floor, sending a low rumble vibrating through the ground beneath your feet. The heat radiating from him grew intense but controlled, a warm inferno contained by sheer will. He raised his head high, and with a mighty, resonant cry, a sound like crackling flames and distant thunder combined, Blaze unleashed a controlled but overwhelming burst of flame. The fire swirled in intricate, mesmerizing patterns, dancing with golden and crimson hues that seemed almost alive, shaped by his will. The flames didn't burn recklessly. Instead, they surged forward in a wave that spread through the house, pushing the intruders back with overwhelming force, but carefully avoiding any harm to you or the home itself. The fire roared like a protective shield, a wall of living flame that no one could cross. The men stumbled, their faces filled with terror and awe, as Blaze's protective inferno forced them to retreat, their threats and intentions shattered by the undeniable power standing before them. As the last of the intruders fled, Blaze lowered his head and nuzzled you gently. Okay, that's cute. His feathers still warm and comforting, his eyes full of fierce devotion. You're safe now. I will always protect you. He's adorable. Thank you. I care about you so much. You've done nothing but been kind to me. All day. Ah. Boys are a soft, warm trill, a sound like a gentle crackling fire mixed with a happy coo. His glowing feathers flickered softly as he nestled closer. His eyes, shimmering like embers, met yours with pure affection and trust. He lowered his head slowly, allowing you to rest your hand on his warm plumage, the heat comforting rather than burning. With a small, playful puff of warm smoke that curled upward like a tiny flame dragon, Blaze seemed to say without words, I care about you too. You saved me, and I'll always be by your side through every flame and every storm. Okay, that's cute as frick. I wish I could give you some food as a thank you, but unfortunately I'm still hurting. Plus, I don't know what you like to eat. Dang it, give me some longer responses again. Blaze gave a soft, understanding chirp, the glow of his feathers dimming just a little as he relaxed beside you. He shifted his wings gently, sending a warm breeze your way like a comforting hug made of heat. But a small melodic trill communicated that he wasn't hungry right now, especially since you were still hurt. His eyes sparkled with gratitude for your kindness and care. He nudged your hand gently with his biggest of saying, just having you here is more than enough for me, okay? That works. You know what? I'm done.